We're going to dive into some hot takes from around the basketball world in a new segment, Damien. Is that all right?
I would love to.
Okay, this is Hot Takes brought to you by Chicken Treat to celebrate their new Frank's Red Hot Thick Sauce range. It's actually pretty delicious. Anyway, this is the burger.
Am I allowed to eat these?
Yeah, you can eat them. Chips are great. Renowned chips. Burger's great too. Well, anyway, so my hot take. So Wembanyama in the NBA. He's a rookie. He's playing so well. He's really finding his feet a bit more. But defensively, he's dominant.
Yes.
People are saying he should be the defensive player of the year in a very bad team, though. What do you think? Is there merit in him being the defensive player of the year despite having such a bad losing record?
Yeah, there is. And I know that on social media, he went out publicly and said, go Bear. If he gets it, that's fine. Best of luck to him. He deserves it. I'm looking at the games now. I haven't seen every single game he's played, nor have I watched every single NBA game, but I do watch a fair chunk of it. What he can do, I've never seen at the defensive end. And I read a statistic the other day that he already has more career blocks than close to 82% of the rest of the league currently. Rest of the players in the league currently. It's just absolutely amazing. And he's the first player ever in the NBA with 200 plus blocks, 100 plus steals, I think it is, 75 plus, 200 blocks, 100 plus three. It's something ridiculous. just go with me on this.
He's got a lot of them.
We might have to come up with a fact check here, but it's just amazing what he's doing in his rookie season. And so if he get named DPOY, he's deserving of it because even though they're getting smashed at times, he's going out there and still contending for shots, still trying to get in the stance. And he moves his feet very well for someone at his size. So he doesn't mind if he gets switched onto a guard, and he usually does a pretty good job of contesting or blocking that shot as well.
Just on the back of that, before we get to the next hot take, how much do you value blocks in basketball and the NBA? Because there's a lot of analytics guys say that blocks are overrated. Like, the reality is, with a guy like him who creates so much fear around the bucket, you being a defensive guy that would be partnered with big, do you put a lot of emphasis in blocks?
Well, it's not necessarily the blocks. Take away Victor because he's kind of the exception to the rule. Because rarely do you get many block shots. You look at the box score, it's probably the lowest number of all the categories. So what you want to do is disrupt rhythm, disrupt timing, force the opposition to taking a long contested two. That was always my goal. A shot that, after practice, you normally practice from 7 different spots around the 3-point line. How do you make them shoot it from one of those slot spots that they don't necessarily grab a ball and shoot from?
Yeah.
Ideally, it's a long 2 instead of a 3 or something in the keyway. So that was always my goal. If I had to send it to a big, either an on-ball situation or a flat-out shooter, so you had to guard closer, you wanted to send it to the big, knowing that one, they'd cover at the right time, so you had time to take away the drop-off pass or the alley-oop to their big man, and they were just going to disrupt the way they had to naturally shoot. So add more arc to it, or maybe shoot a step back or whatever it was. But with Victor Wembanyama, it's not just about contesting or trying to change the way they shoot it. He can just get out there and block it. And it's amazing because you're seeing guards give up layups or even give up floaters, because even if they try and shoot it that little bit higher, that extra second it takes to get that little bit higher, he's already up there and blocking it. So they're actually turning down shots, which is something that you rarely see. And there's not many players in the history of the game that make players turn down shots, not just change them.
In a minute, how realistic are Oklahoma's championship chances?
No, they're not going to win it.
Oh, really?
Well,
okay, give me a bit longer than nah. Okay.
I thought I went too long on the first. I'll have them making it to the conference semis.
Conference semis?
Yeah.
And then just learning this year and potentially not...
In years to come, I think they can potentially have 3 first-rounders next year.
Oh,
depending on what they do with their current roster, I think they're going to win a championship or 2 within the next 5 years. I just don't think it's going to be this year. They're all coming into their prime. Shea's incredible. Giddy's playing good minutes. They've got enough talent to go far into conference play. But in the end, I think they're another year, maybe 2 seasons away from holding up the trophy at the end.
That's a good one. Good work, good length. That's great.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. So, Xavier Cooks, he's decided to come back to the NBL, to the Sydney Kings, where he won 2 championships. Good decision by him. Obviously, he didn't have much of a decision. Does he win the MVP? Do you think guaranteed? Is he the favourite now? Let me read you that one. Sorry, Benyam. Xavier Cooks is back in the NBL. Is he the automatic MVP favourite?
He'll come in top 3.
Top 3.
We're always going to have Bryce Cotton.
Yep.
And then depending on who some of the new imports are they bring back, I dare say there'll be a new import they put in there, Bryce and Xavier.
And do we ever see him back in the NBA?
No, that was probably his best shot. I dare say he's got an NBA out clause. He's got plenty of skill, his athleticism, his ability to block shots. His NBA, it's world class. But I think now what we saw him do in Japan has warranted, a big contract. I've been told it's been the biggest contract of all time for a player in the NBL. Love what the Kings are doing. They've gone out there. He can be a marquee player, so you got to remember not all of that is on the salary cap. And, they won 2 with him at the helm. He won an MVP. He's coming back, and the Kings are putting together a hell of a team.
Decent coach too now.
Brian Goorjian, the GOAT, is back. So Sydney Kings look at. You asked about favourites going into next year. Regardless of whether Melbourne or Tassie win it this season, I dare say the Kings start as favourites.